All right, so it is March 30th, 2026, 79 degrees, winds are 17 miles an hour. We're on the back slope, which is the southeast side. We have our repair area marked out, our assessment area marked out in yellow. Our assessment shingle is marked in white, and then any of our condition changes in the shingles I'm going to be marking in blue and documenting with my phone along the way. So we are going to start off by unsealing. This is the other side. Wind. Hopefully you should be able to hear me just maybe a little bit better. So we're going to be unsealing our assessment shingle around and then unsealing the other shingles around that just to remove our fasteners. I have my odd numbers on the left, even numbers on the right. So I'm using my traditional flat bar with a low angle and a sharp edge as to not do any damage to the shingles while unsealing them. Pretty traditional flat bar for most roofers. So I'm going to start off by unsealing our assessment shingle. Basically, we like to start out by going between two appliques with the thicker parts of the shingle to kind of get these started, or starting along the edges as to not create any tears in the thinner portion of the shingles. So shingles are pretty well sealed, so I'm going to try to take my time here. Oh, real quick, before we get going, I'm going to use my ruler here to kind of check our appliques, make sure everything is nice and still sealed. A little bit of light edge unsealed there. A little bit here on number 3, a little bit of delamination, not much. 6, 7, 7's got a tiny little bit, about a ½ inch. Go along the edges. So yeah, everything seems to be pretty well. Everything is sealed along these edges as well. So let's kind of get going here. Oh, and already we have a tear here in our assessment shingle that has just kind of come from where the shingles are so well sealed that, you know, just basically they don't want to unseal or debond from themselves, which is kind of the purpose of the shingle, is to stay intact. These things are pretty well bonded. Once again, just trying to take my time here, not create any damage, or change these conditions to these shingles as little as possible. Got another small tear here in my assessment shingle. Alright, so my assessment shingle unsealed now. I'm going to take a quick picture of the tear here. I'm going to be marking all condition changes in blue. Document that tear while unsealing assessment shingle. Second tear, unsealing the assessment shingle. We're unsealing number 5. Just once again, taking our time here, trying to get these shingles unsealed so we can remove our fasteners to remove our assessment shingle. They are pretty pretty well bonded. I got a light tear here on number 5. Tear on shingle 5. Strike that one. Ruler. Just a document there. Tear while unsealing shingle 5. Now we're going to unseal number 6 here, which unsealed a little bit already. We have to unseal the whole shingle because we do have to lift this shingle to be able to reinstall fasteners, and you don't want to turn the corner of a shingle, so we have to unseal this one all the way across. Alright, so we got number 6 unsealed. Now we're going to start with number 7. Once again, kind of going under an applique and over one where that shingle is thicker is the preferred way. This sealant is on there pretty well. Once again, I'm trying to keep my flat bar flat to the roof and using that at a proper angle to unseal these. The sealant on these shingles is just tough. Darn, we got another tear here on number 7. Alright, let's go ahead and stop and document our tear. Tear on shingle 7 when unsealing. Tear on shingle 7. Continue on with unsealing number 7 here. And now unsealing number 8 here. So we have all of our assessment shingles unsealed now. So now what we're going to do is begin to remove our fasteners. So I try to lift these as little as possible, check for my fasteners. I'm going to come under my assessment shingle and begin to lightly pry this out. That first fastener came out just fine. I am seeing some mat transfer already from unsealing these. That mat transfer would be from the assessment shingle to number 5. When these sealant bonds are so strong and they don't want to let go, it just starts to create complications and changes in conditions of these shingles, which just makes repairs not really feasible as a sound solution. So I have all my fasteners out from under 5 and 6. Now I'm going to take a look under number 7. Number 7 and 8 will have more tension to them because I haven't unsealed these shingles above them. Once again, you want to change as little condition or manipulate as few shingles as possible, but I have to unseal these and remove these fasteners due to the proper installation of this roofing system. And I'm seeing more mat transfer up here as well. I believe there's my So my fasteners are coming out okay. I wanted to pull through, but I was able to hold it off. It's all about just taking your time, not rushing the process. Oh yeah, we've got a big piece of mat transfer under here that is creating a little complication here. Then just get our fastener out. I can work on that. All right, at this time I should have all my fasteners removed. Take a look. Yep, so this assessment shingle is now removed. While it's out, what I like to do is take a look at some of the different things that have occurred on it. We had the tear that I've already notated in 2 places. I'm just gonna mark this other tear, create a little hole. Tear on assessment shingle. We have mat transfer on this assessment shingle, which that means it has come from number 5 and number 6, which I'm going to document here with my blue. The mat transfer basically means that part of the shingle has torn off and stuck to the other one, which exposes the fiberglass matting and prevents them from ever being able to reseal even with roof cement properly. Mat transfer on assessment shingle number 5. Exposed fiberglass mat on assessment shingle. Mat transfer from shingle 6 to the assessment shingle. Mat transfer on assessment shingle. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and strike number 6 for mat transfer. Now we like to flip over the shingle, check the underside, and once again I have mat transfer, the tear, and those would be coming from, this side would be coming from shingle 1, and this would be from shingle 2. Here. Mat transfer from shingle 2 onto assessment shingle. Mat transfer on the underside of assessment shingle. Exposed fiberglass mat on the underside of assessment shingle. Mat transfer from shingle 1 to assessment shingle, created exposed fiberglass mat. Alright, I'm going to set this assessment shingle off to the side. Yeah, we're seeing the same mat transfer here, obviously. So we have mat transfer here, number 1. Mat transfer from assessment shingle to number 1. Mat transfer on shingle number 1. Mat transfer from assessment shingle to shingle 2. Mat transfer from assessment shingle to number 2. Mat transfer from assessment shingle to number 2. Alright, while the assessment shingle's out, I always like to check my underlayment to confirm what we're working with here. And we have felt paper that was not impacted by the removal of the shingle, so that's good. Confirmed underlayment is felt paper and was not affected by removal of shingle. Alright, now, alright, so we have some mat transfer here on the edge of number 5 that is impacting number 3 as well now. So mat transfer from shingle 3 to shingle 5. Whenever I lift these shingles, I try to lift with the back of my hand as to not create any pressure or pinpoint pressure with my fingertips. So I try to lift at the applique and hold back with the back of my hand. Mat transfer from shingle 3 to shingle 5. Exposed fiberglass mat on shingle 3. Mat transfer on shingle 5. And obviously we have some of the mat transfer here on the underside of 5 that came from the assessment shingle. Mat transfer on the underside of shingle 5 from assessment shingle. Let's check our 6 over here. Same thing. It's basically from the sealant of this shingle being so strong that we're just doing more damage than we are, any good here. And once again, I was trying to unseal these, keep it at the proper angle. Mat transfer from shingle 4 to shingle 6. Mat transfer from 4 to 6. Exposed fiberglass mat on shingle 4. Mat transfer from shingle 4 to shingle 6. Since we're right here, we're going to go ahead and check number 8. And basically the same thing again. So it's definitely warm enough today that you should be able to unseal properly, but a big tear in number 6. Mat transfer from shingle 6 to shingle 8. Mat transfer created a hole in shingle 6 and exposed fiberglass mat. Oh, wrong color. Mat transfer from shingle 6 to shingle 8. Exposed fiberglass mat on shingle 6. Exposed fiberglass mat from mat transfer on shingle 6. Mat transfer on the underside of shingle 8. And once again, more mat transfer. So I know I'm repeating myself multiple times, but it's just the sealant on these shingles are not allowing these things to unseal properly to be able to do a repair. Mat transfer from shingle 5 to shingle 7. Exposed fiberglass mat on shingle 5. Mat transfer on the underside of shingle 7. Mat transfer from shingle 5 to shingle 7. Mat transfer and exposed fiberglass mat on shingle 5. Alright, so at this time, being an assessment, we're just going to reinstall our assessment shingle here. And then we're going to use roof cement as a temporary sealant to make sure that we at least bond this back together for now. But once again, it's going to be a temporary repair, not anything that would last, just due to all the complications and condition changes in the shingles. So got the shingle lined up here because we know it fits because it just came out. I'm going to grab my roofing nails and my roofing hatchet here. Once again, lifting with the back of my hand, just not try to stress these shingles more than I have to. When installing these shingles, you must, our shingle manufacturer specifications say that we must install fasteners flush and, oh, let me make sure this is cleared off. Sorry, I see a bunch of chalk on here. Blowing the wind. So, what I'm going to do here is snap a picture just to show the angle. So, when installing fasteners, shingle manufacturer specifications say we must install them flush to the decking. That means we have to lift the shingle at least high enough to put the hammer under, and then a bit higher for striking distance. So, just to show this. Alright, got that documented. Alright, so there's our first fastener. Second. And I'm having to work around, and this will be the case for all of them, this mat transfer where it thins the shingle out. There's not enough of the nail strip left to really set the nail properly. So mat transfers really create complications when trying to do repairs. Now, when lifting 7 and 8, they have more tension on them because the shingles above have not been unsealed. So I try not to lift too much as to create any damage, which once again, just enough room to install the fastener flush. As you can see, or if you can, starting to delaminate this this applique a little bit. Fastener should do us. And you can see right here, it's creating what they call tenting, where the applique is basically folding up and separating from the actual shingle. Right, so delamination and tenting is occurring on shingle 8. Delamination occurred when installing fasteners on shingle 8. Alright, so I have our assessment shingle reinstalled. This time we had condition changes to every shingle up here. This time I can't really recommend that a spot repair or repairing box vents around these, or repairing shingles around these box vents is feasible or be able to hold up against